Hello folks, meet the star of today's hoof trimming video, cow number 58. Her hoof is a little bit rough around the edges. Oh, and she's a little bit rough with me. Sorry, I did get her ID a little bit wrong. It's actually cow 53. Maybe it's time for Gareth to head to Specsavers. Stay tuned to see how we treat hooves just like this. Like so many other people, you may find this seriously satisfying to watch. And if you do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. As you can see, this hoof is pretty rough up around the edges up here. There's obviously a double sole here. We're going to find something in here, potentially a white line defect, which we can see the top of here. We may see something more. Tip's getting a little bit in the road today, so we may see something more in and around here in the sole area. But I'm going to start stripping this back to identify the issue. But leaving the issue aside, this cow is really unbalanced on this. She's not really using this claw at all. All of her weight's going in this claw. So we need to correct that as well as fixing this issue. A little bit of pressure has been in here. Things are starting to bubble out a little bit out of that. So we need to clean this all out and probably end up taking the weight off it. Time to maybe try the tip in again, just for using the grinder. Clean this off. I think a wooden wedge block will be perfect for this cow. And all I need to do is say the word block and Jeff's right on it. Stay still for just 10 seconds while this glue just does its first little bit of setting. The first 10 to 15 seconds are crucial. No movement in it, just so the glue can get a really good bond, because it has quite a tough job to do. You take the weight of a cow moving about for a number of weeks, and this bond has to do its job really well. Good job, thank you, cow. You've been a great patient today so far. And isn't it amazing that this tiny little fracture here, or point in the hoof, caused that complete double sole to form? This cow in the crush today is a little bit more mooey than normal. Some cows like to be a wee bit more vocal than others. I guess they're a wee bit like people. I've just got a Snapchat from Tom. He's looking after Eloise today. So it'll probably be them sitting up watching Coco Melon or something like that today. That's what they do the first half of the day. Well, they go and get a fry first. So maybe that's what they're at the minute. So obviously from the start here we stripped away this entire sole here. It was open and slightly gaping at the heel. So we've took away those sole layers, and we have this little area of impact here, probably where the white line lesion started to trigger the response and grow in that poor quality hoof in several layers. So there's not actually much more, there's not really any more loose horn around that. That's down to the cow's corium. I don't think we can go any lower there. We've cleaned that out. I'm just going to take a little bit more of this sidewall off a little bit, just to see, is it travelling up the side anymore. Sometimes you would see it sticking out at the top here, this being linked to this, but that's all nice and healthy around there. I am going to probably wrap this just to stop the pressures of dermatitis getting into it, because if it was to get into it, it may even be there. I'll know now when I wash it out, but if it was to get into it, it would really change the speed that the cow would recover. So we're right down there, that we can't go any more with that there. And there's just a tiny little close-up of the little small fracture that caused this whole issue. Some of you like to see that just before the wrap goes on. Now that we have all that stripped away, time to put on the bandage. We open to a bit of digit. This other back foot is really just a routine trim. So isn't it amazing? This foot has obviously nothing has happened it, whereas the other one has got some sort of a knock or something that caused the inflammation to grow that extra hoof. Whereas this side here is just a rebalancing, checking around the heels, model out just to relieve the pressure from the sole ulcer side, which does have a little bit of bruising. There are some little stress lines here at the white line, but with getting the weight off this and onto this here, balanced across both, that will alleviate these here being an issue. Sometimes it is a little bit of a distraction having your phone with you on work, because you get messages and you want to look at them, but this is exactly what Tom and Eloise has had today.
Good girl, Eloise. You're walking on groundless shoes now. That's a good girl. What do you think of that? Wow. Lovely shoes.
Nice.
You're at your mama, you like shoes and boots, don't you? What's your name? Eloise. It's not a lovely name.
And that right there, folks, is what Granda Daycare looks like with Granda Tom. I already have the front feet done on this cow, so cow number 53, initially 58, is good to go. So that's another little cow made comfortable. Folks, I hope you enjoyed that video and found it satisfying, and we really appreciate you taking the time to watch the videos. There's no point in making them if you're not going to click them and watch them, and we're really delighted that a lot of you do find them satisfying to watch. And if you did, join us on the journey and hit the subscribe button. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.